The sun is rising in Almeria. On the shoulders of the farmers in this sea of plastic rests a great responsibility. They work for one of the most demanding sectors as regards quality and discerning criteria, the food industry. To achieve their production objectives, that is to say, to market their products in commercial outlets and guarantee their safety standards and quality, they have at their disposal a wide range of possibilities, all of them with a high degree of technical specialization which, when their use is rationalized, optimized and integrated, provides them with the everyday tools for their work. The high technological level might appear to be an insurmountable barrier except for a privileged few, but nothing is further from the truth. The companies which have been created around the farmers mean that they always have the most reliable information and the most experienced human teams for adapting their company. But it wasn't always like this. Knowing the progress of the crops in Almeria is the key to making the best use of the solutions which the ancillary industry offers. Growth. In the decade of the 1960s, with the decline of grape exports, the lands began to be used for other crops. Using the old structures of the vine harbours, ingenuity and necessity made the farmers begin to experiment with new techniques, such as the use of sand and the first plastic covers, until they found a successful model which encouraged the birth of a completely new industry, the agricultural ancillary industry. A model which can be analysed from many different angles. Biotechnology. From a basic agriculture in which the farmers themselves used to select the best plants from one harvest to the next in order to obtain their seeds, we pass to the use of hybrids which improve the uniformity of the production. The appearance of high-profile research companies meant that a substitution of traditional varieties for others, adapted to a more demanding market, took place. In the 1990s, the long-life tomato produced a great evolutionary leap forward and meant an increase in the amount of land under cultivation, thanks to the opening of new markets further away. The diversification of consumption in the target markets boosted the production of vegetables typical of other areas of Europe, Africa and Asia, and a new, more global way of approaching agriculture was implanted. The next steps were related to the inclusion of greater resistance in the plants in order to lengthen their reproductive cycles or obtain varieties with better features and able to reduce significantly the use of manual labour in agricultural work. Not only are the seed companies included in this section, the use of pollinating insects such as bees and bumblebees, initially with melons and watermelons, began to be extended to other crops such as the tomato, and they developed a system for the integration of natural depredators and other beneficial organisms, which has led to what today we now call integrated agriculture. The most recent challenge for the biotechnological companies resides in the normalization of all these processes in search of a natural balance and of an increase in the healthy organoleptic properties which fruit and vegetables provide in our diet. Structures. Almost at the same time as the production of grapes was substituted for other fruit and vegetable varieties, covering by plastic began to be used in order to offer protection against the wind and to regulate the interior temperature, thus protecting the crops from the rigours of the climate. When these early structures needed to be renewed, the incorporation of features with higher quality and durability took place, both in the supports as well as in the structure and design. The wire used was now covered in steel, the wooden posts were changed for galvanized metallic tubes, and the greenhouses were increased in size. Their ventilation improved and greater air tightness was sought. The development of the plastics is closely linked to the need for luminosity, resistance and regulation of the temperature. Thermoplastics were incorporated, which over time evolved into triple-layer plastics in order to increase their performance. Anti-condensation plastics, light-selective plastics which select the ideal light spectrum, or the use of nets which prevent the loss of heat and the entrance of insects. The acclimatization of the greenhouses is an objective close to being achieved, and which has generalized the use of airtight structures. The automata in the ventilation mechanisms, both from above and from the side, the climate control computers and the sensors with mobile phone alarms are already common features in many agricultural operations in Almeria. Irrigation. In a semi-desert region, the search for aquifers and irrigation systems underwent continuous development until the incorporation of drip irrigation and the automation and control of the flow of water, which rationalized its use and allowed the computerization of the fertilization systems. At present, the most advanced equipment is used to control the pH levels or the conductivity, and the fertilizers have developed towards soluble crystalline fertilizers administered by computer. In this way, the less productive soils in which techniques of disinfection such as solarization did not respond adequately, it has been possible to implant cultivation methods without soil or hydroponic systems, placing the roots of the plants in practically inert substrata, to which have to be added all that is necessary for the growth of the plants. In order to increase the quality of the irrigation water and to eliminate treatment by disinfectants, treatments based on ultraviolet light and ozonification are being introduced. Finally, the incorporation of ever more sophisticated machinery for the protection, gathering and transport of the fruit and vegetables has improved enormously, with the use of robots which, adapted to the particular environment, perform routine jobs, facilitate the work and reduce the amount of manual labor. Responsibility. The highest concentration of greenhouses in the world should, of necessity, have the greatest health and safety controls. At present, Almeria has the highest number of analytical residual laboratories, and the controls by the official laboratories guarantee food safety from start to finish of the process with a very high effectiveness. On the basis of these and other requirements, the principal production regulations have been established. From the need for supervision and control, certifying companies have been formed, which provide the purchaser of our products with an absolute guarantee of the observance of these norms. Marketing. The constant progress of the crops has been accompanied by a continuous adaptation of the products to the consumer markets. The correct management of the marketing of the products means that Almeria no longer depends on outside structures and now markets almost all the goods which go to the markets throughout the world directly from Almeria. To achieve this, great steps have been taken in the packaging, labelling and handling sectors. The strength of the agricultural food production industry, acquired from the experience in the last 50 years of growth, has contributed to the creation of an open mentality that no longer thinks in terms of frontiers. Almeria has created a model which guarantees the correct solutions at all times throughout the productive cycle. We provide a complete, coherent and adaptable solution to the needs of every user. It is truly the most universal reference point when it comes to exporting knowledge in innovation, diversification and marketing in the fruit and vegetable sector. Within this area, the role which the Tecnova Foundation has acquired as the representative of the companies which comprise all the sectors of the ancillary industry in Almeria is fundamental to supply the experience which has been acquired here and turn it into a productive reality no longer requires half a century of time. The sun is now setting in Almeria. Under the plastic, our experience continues to do its work, contributing with its drive to the integration, the reconciliation and development of diverse cultures with common links. This is our way of creating the future of agriculture. Experience, quality, responsibility.